Guys, I
Are we on? Well, are you gonna use this or are you gonna use your phone?
on both.
Okay, Stephen Andrews 1 was here early. Stephen Andrews 2 was here early. I already said hi. Danny Boyd was here early.
And my
Not
phone just
anymore.
died.
Hello, Believe. Ahmad read 12.5% of the Bible. He's an atheist.
Oh, what?
Hello, Chris. How are you doing today? Believe says, last night in bed, my girlfriend was mumbling about being born in 1892 and writing The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. I thought she's poking in her sleep again. Did she wake up your wife? Uh oh.
Uh-oh.
Uno.
Mm-hmm.
You're not even in yet.
Sorry, I was wait, I was paying
That was
attention to
not a
you.
sexual reference. I was talking about her being in the live on her phone.
Sorry.
Okay, Danny Boyd is back. Hello, Dan. Believe says, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Spec, Danny Boyd, and chat. Uno, after the boo, says, hi, one, hi, all. And
Chris.
Chris is doing okay. Lazy day. How about you?
Okay, I mean,
I was on my computer ready to post a car for sale
why do I get booed?
on a few other places, and Mrs. Speck says, "Are you coming?" And I look at the clock, and it was 3:56. I thought I had another hour to go.
Yeah, I was here on time. I was sitting here waiting for Mr. Speck. Lester the Saber's here.
Hello,
Hi.
Lester. How you doing? I think you can start the pictures.
No sé, good for not good too. Okay.
I posted this truck with a price completely painted, new windshield, new everything, but didn't get anybody on it because this truck's only 2 hours from me, so it's easy to run over there, get it, and bring it to the paint shop. Yes, it does, Chris. And posting cars for sale is a lot of fun. Like I was just telling Mrs. Speck, I was just talking to the guy that gets me the license plates in Mexico, in Estado de Mexico, and he's the one we bought the green Ormiga from. So I asked him, how are things going to be with all these millions of tourists coming? Because he's right there where everybody's coming. They're going to have games in Mexico City and the state of Mexico. And he says he can't get anywhere right now because they have streets closed down because they're
Yeah.
redoing streets. They're trying to make it look as nice as possible for all of these tourists.
It's like a week away and they're still doing
Yeah,
everything.
and he can't get anywhere. He says
Yeah.
by the 20th, everybody's going to leave, but it'll be another week before it gets back to normal. So the end of the month is my target for the first time I would be able to go out and, get any other kind of vehicle because I would run into, like, if I like catch a flight to Querétaro, I have to drive back through. I have to drive back through Guadalajara to bring it up here, or drive through the Mexico City area to take it down to Veracruz because I think that the traffic is gonna spread out everywhere. So it's gonna be horrible all over the country. So I'm just gonna stay right here in the house. Luckily, I made a few sales selling the tail lights and stuff that I sell. So we just have to make it through this month without having any car sales.
Dan says, glad I have no interest in football.
I don't have any interest in it either. It's just all the people coming here, and you have the Gumball 3000 with daily driven exotics. They're all coming into Mexico in the next couple of days, and they're going to be driving through Mexico, and they're going to hit Monterrey first, which means they have to go through the Los Zetas territory to get there. And then from there, they're driving 900 kilometers down to San Miguel de Allende, which is in Guanajuato. And I know a guy there. I helped him get a Wagoneer. So I asked him, "Are you going to go out there when they show up?" He says, "Yeah, I'm going to go out there, see, see what it's all about, because they're going to be getting there really late at night, because I don't think they're going to be, driving as fast as they want to through the hills, because it's mostly hilly area that they're going to, like La Sierra, that they're going to be driving through. I don't know how they're going to make it, you know, in Mexico, driving like that, and all the areas that they have to drive through and everything. But we'll see what happens. How many of them actually make it? How many actually survive the first part of getting into Mexico? Ed Bolian, who owns VinWiki, he says, at the border, I'm turning around and going home. I'm not going into Mexico.
Yeah.
So the David from DDE said that the organizer has a plan to get through Mexico,
Plan.
and I'm putting plan in quotes. I would love to hear his plan. Did he talk to the head of Los Zetas? You know, like, did he give them money to allow them to all pass? Because it's just too. I mean, they're driving $1 million cars. They're coming in. Obviously, their big business is kidnapping and ransom. So obviously, that's what they do.
Kim fixes it.
Hello, Kim. Lester and Kim, have you watched our latest members video? I know it's 45 or 46 minutes long, but it's really cute. There's a few edits in there. Squirrel.
Stop.
You didn't put the image in there the second time when I said squirrel. You missed
No.
you missed that.
No. I'm the
So
one that's a squirrel.
yeah. So it'll be interesting over the next couple of days to see, and the whole Gumball 3000. All of these cars are driving into the Mexico area, the Mexico City area, where millions of people are going to be, millions of tourists on top of the locals. So I'm not even sure how they're going to be able to drive their cars around the city to get to where they need to go. I'm not sure how.
As it says, not yet. I will.
Well, I hope so, because it's interesting. We showed you all about the park we have in town, the city park. Well, not city park. Mrs. Spec said it's privately owned, but
Yeah.
it's like a botanical garden and has, plants and wildlife like the kitty cat that I showed, and
Very well.
and the lake that has all the turtles that all the people in there give them bread and food and stuff. So that's how they survive. Plus the ducks and the goose and the. We didn't see any iguanas though, which is weird. They're usually there, just like sitting there eyeing you, like, come mess with me, like that. But none of them were there. It's really weird.
Princess, by the way, Max, here are 3 combis in Mexico City. I need you to pick up for me, but they're only available next week.
I'm sorry, Chris, but you're gonna miss those three combis because there's no way to get around Mexico City. The people aren't even there yet, and they have the streets blocked off because the guy I was talking to, he says, I need to go downtown to do this or that, and I just simply can't get there. The roads are all blocked.
Yeah, they're blocking the roads, so only the people going into the games are allowed.
Well,
And
no, he said they're redoing streets, they're fixing
yeah, that's
things.
true.
Yeah, so that's what they're doing right now. Later on, it's going to be even worse when the people actually arrive. And can you imagine how much the Ubers and taxis are going to be charging people
Mm-hmm.
to get across town? I mean, it's crazy. Without much traffic, it took us 45 minutes. 45 minutes. How it was supposed to take us 45 minutes to get to the airport, right?
Took us 2 hours.
Yeah, it took us 2 hours because of a protest that was happening. And you think people aren't going to protest when the whole world is watching? Of course they are. There's going to be all kinds of problems. So I don't know. I don't know. Everything's happening all at the same time.
Kim says, "Hello, Lester. I'm really sorry, Mexican Spec. Bob has me distracted from a regular viewing."
Well, hopefully you'll watch it before you're not a member anymore because it it was gifted to you, so it's only going to last the 30 days, I guess. That's why we're rushing to get the videos done once a week, because we actually have members, and who knows if any of you are going to renew.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the next video we're going to go to the famous nacho place we have in town. If you ask any kid in this town, where do you want to go eat? He's going to say, Los Nachos. Every last one of them. It's their favorite food. And my son is in Culiacan, 2 hours away. I said, have you found a nachos place there? He says, no, no, it's nothing like it is over there. No, no, no. And it was his favorite. So when he comes back here, I make sure I take him there to have nachos. And it's cheap. So it's like when we don't have much money, we go to the local mall over here, and that's our lunch. One thing of nachos with, it has beans in it. It has two types of cheeses and the chips. That's it. That's it, right?
You can put meat on it.
Yeah, you can buy meat, but I think the meat got me sick. So so that whole thing is lunch for both of us, and it's 115 pesos, which is like $6 for both of us.
Unfinished project this year,
Hello, unfinished project.
and they say black butter.
Black butter.
I don't know what that is, but firefly is also
I'm
here.
not sure I'd want to eat black butter. Hello,
Firefly is also
hello, Vilefly.
and they're clicking to an nacho chip
Taking
and
notes.
taking notes.
Yeah, this place makes other things like tamales and other things, but I don't get into all of that. It's a very cheap lunch for two people, and we just buy a bottle of water at Oxxo, which is 16 pesos or something, a little less than $1 for a liter. Is it a liter?
Mm-hmm.
A liter of water for both of us. So it's very cheap lunch.
But it says nice price. But it says nachos with beans, with meat and cheese.
The meat that they serve, I don't know what kind of sauce it has on it, and I didn't feel good after eating it, so I don't get the meat anymore.
But it's good meat.
She likes it.
Yes.
She likes the meats. Yep. But I think that's going to be our next video. And the mall that burned down that we told you guys about, it was an older mall. I just saw yesterday that the taco place that has been there forever, La Cabana, they moved over to another mall right next to the nacho place, which is where we're going to go and record the video. So I'm going to see, what's going on with that.
Fly asks, are the beans spicy hot or regular?
No, there's no chili in it. You can request the cheese, the nacho cheese that has chili in it if you want. You can change it out, but I don't like that. But we're both filled up with just one large. And then, they make more money on the drinks because they give you a small thing and it's like 30 something pesos. We'd rather buy the 1 liter of water unless I need the energy, then I buy a Coke from Oxxo. But you can go into Oxxo and get a 600 milliliter Coke for 25, but 1 liter is 5 pesos more. And then you go to Walmart, and the 2 liters there is a little bit more than that.
Let's start Brasilia made in Mexico.
Yes, this was made in Mexico. Mexico got permission from Brazil to make this car. We didn't have the 4-door here. We only had the 2-door, and I don't count the rear hatch as a door. We only had the 2-door, but in Brazil they had the 4-door and the 2-door of this model. When I first moved here, one of the family members here had one of these, and it's worse than riding in a Beetle. It's just as basic as you could get. It's basically a Beetle with a different body on it. But yeah, it's just a rattle trap. That one was anyway.
Firefly says cheese with chili in it. I would have thought it was the other way around. It's more like cheese with chipotle in it.
Well, whatever makes it
Spicy.
Yeah, spicy for me. It's probably not spicy for Mrs. Spec, but it's spicy for me.
I never tried it.
I don't like that. They painted the steering wheel, and your hands have to go on the steering wheel.
It's sticky.
Yeah, no. There's all this tuck and roll, the diamonds, the diamond tuck, diamond stitch. They do that a lot in cars here.
I just took my bills and they haven't kicked in. It looks like it's coming out of away from like out of the bumper.
Well, it's
Like
under the bumper and then it curves back in and then the pipe comes out.
it looks like it's like farther out than the bumper.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. He wants it sticking out. You guys remember the Baja bugs with the stingers sticking out the back? The stinger just sticks way up in the air, the exhaust pipe.
Yeah.
We don't really have that kind of thing here, the Baja bugs. Somebody may cut the fenders, put big wheels on it, and call it a Baja bug, but nothing like they did in the U.S. or at least in California where I was.
Pablo says icky sticky steering wheel. All people have steering wheels like that.
Yeah, both Ram Chargers that I recently sold had sticky steering wheels. There's
Mm-hmm.
really not much you can do about it. I had took wet wipes and tried to clean them, but the stickiness is always there.
Blue says a cowboy walked into a German car dealership. He tipped his hat and said Audi. I'm confused. After says, huh? Blue says, I remember those Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
Barbara says, Dune buggies.
Yeah, Doom buggies had the stingers too to keep the exhaust up from the dirt.
Sorry, Chris says, I'm not a fan of those aftermarket exhausts. The stock exhaust is what gives an air-cooled Volkswagen its unique exhaust.
Yeah, the bubble sound that comes out the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lester says, I remember Bahamas.
Mm-hmm. They were all over Southern California, all over it.
I woke up with a little bit of a sore throat.
Probably from the air and the fan. Did you clean the fan?
When I the first time, yeah.
Well, it's in front of the window and there's a lot of dirt outside, so you got to clean that. Hey guys, we have our own chickens in the backyard now.
Oh yeah.
We had last. Hello, Shelby.
Hey Shelby.
Last week, I don't know if I told you this last. No, I didn't tell you this. Last Sunday, Mrs. Spec and I were outside burning some stuff. So I was grabbing the branches and breaking them and putting them in fire and everything. Well, the next morning I came out and there was a hen sitting on her eggs underneath those same branches. So it must have been a really bad night for her. I was moving all that stuff around and she couldn't move. So then the next day on Monday, 7 of the eggs hatched. So now we have her in the backyard with her 7 chicks just running all over our little, because we have a tree and there's some dirt there because there's mostly cement there's out there. I bought some bread to give them to them. But we also have another hen that's in the trunk of my Buick convertible sitting on eggs. And she's been sitting on the eggs for weeks and nothing is hatched. So I think she's just depressed. She doesn't want to come out of there. I gave her some bread this morning and I think she ate a little bit, but she's not coming out of there. She's not happy at all.
Yeah, if you want to know a little bit more about Mr. Specs, like how he like works or whatever, he will tell you, I hate chickens. Fucking chickens like are pooping all over my cars. I hate them. I would kill them if I could.
I never said I would kill them.
You told the guy to take them away.
Yes,
I will take them away if I could.
Yeah, but not kill them.
He will say no.
It's not their fault.
Them. But then yesterday we were shopping, and I was like, should we buy bread for the chickens?
Yes, because they're babies, and there's not enough bugs back there for them to eat. They've eaten all the bugs
he will
in that little area.
Yeah, 21 days. Yeah, I told him that.
Anyway,
hold on, the chat is going crazy.
There's Braden. Braden's here too.
That was Braden.
Braden and Faith.
Yeah, Braden and Faith is here. Say hi. And
Shelby.
Shelby says I took the Valiant to a car show today and won best mopper and $500.
Wow, was that the picture I saw on the Mopar Facebook group? You were holding something in front of you.
Firefly and Chris says congrats and good afternoon to Shelby. Implicit Thing says chickens.
Chickens. Yep.
Shelby says thanks, y'all.
I shooed the roosters out of here before I gave them chickens because I'm not feeding those little.
Shoo, not shoot.
Yeah, I shooed. Got
Yes.
them out of here.
Papa says, got tired of eating chickens over the fence, huh?
No, I point to the top of the wall and I say, out. And they go up.
Tim says, that is amazing, Shelby. Buffalo says, 21 days for eggs to hatch, roughly.
She's been in there much longer than that.
Yeah,
Much longer.
I think she's worthy.
Yep.
Braden says, how do you want to Faith?
Hi, Faith.
Tim says, now you have free eggs.
I do not want to eat those eggs. No. I'm gonna have to open up the trunk of the car and get everything out of there. Yeah. Because I don't, they're
gonna spoil.
Yeah, and the car's gonna smell really bad, which I need Mrs. Speck's help because I have two full size light bars from police cars sitting on the trunk of my car that I'm gonna go put that on the top of my Fury and be able to open up the trunk of the car.
Yeah, we probably need to block it so that it doesn't happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Chris says, how do you say fried chicken in Spanish? Pollo frito.
Mm-hmm.
Lester says, our neighbors have chickens in Taj Mahal chicken coop they built.
Oh, I wish this guy had a chicken coop, but he just lets them run free.
Braden says, that was on 2 weeks.
That was Shelby.
Huh?
Shelby.
Shelby, you did say something else?
You said Braden.
Sorry. Shelby says, 2 weeks ago.
I don't think Braden's going to be taking his car to a car show.
Shelby says, I won People's Choice at that car show 2 weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
CD Burlock is here?
Hello, CD Burlock.
Says, oh no, it's Mexican Spec.
Why? It's something. It says Miss Spec. I don't know if that's you or me. Could be Mrs.
Could be. Butterfly says,
no, you skipped Shelby. I won People's Choice.
What?
At that car show 2 weeks ago.
Did I know I already read that one.
No.
I already read that one.
You said that was at 2 weeks ago, but you didn't read the next one.
No, I read both.
I didn't hear it.
So you said nice.
So it didn't happen.
You said nice.
Yeah, on the 2 weeks ago, because that's the picture I saw.
Anyway, Baba says not those eggs. They should be hatching soon.
I don't think they're gonna hatch.
Baba says pollo de fuego. Lol. Baba says bad translator.
I'm just seeing fire chicken. And that's a different car. That's a different car, Fire Chicken.
Burlock says, te envié un video de un Mercedes que fue una conversión completa.
What was it converted to?
Braden says, I got a Lincoln MKC Hybrid 2017.
Yeah, but I don't think you're going to take it out to a car show, to park it and have people look at it. It's just a transportation car.
No me asustes. Yo estoy traumada con. I'm already traumatized with checking the all messages.
Dodge Dart station wagon in red, with the trim for the wood on the side that isn't there. Somebody did a lot of work and took the stickers off and took all the glue off, and then repainted the car. I think this one has a V8 in it.
How did you sleep last night?
Great, fine, I guess.
Were you able to sleep with my light?
Yes.
Okay.
As long as I turn this way.
Yeah. Maybe today we'll switch the things. Do you have a live today? Do you have a live today?
Kim, do we have a live today? I don't know. This is your reach for this.
I thought you were reaching for it. Oh, yes.
CD Burlock says EFI coilover and computer control fuel trim 75 sedan. Why would they do that to a 75 sedan? Mercedes. Just leave it alone. It's perfect the way it is.
This is a fire chief car.
Yeah, it does kind of look that way. Just ignore the interior, but it needs to be lowered a bit. Like somebody lifted it up for some reason.
Buffalo wonders if the Prius are made in Mexico.
Oh yes, there's Priuses all over Mexico. Prii. In the car show in 2013 in Estado de Mexico, it was the concourse of our country. They were presenting the new redesigned Prius, the 2013 or 2014 model, I think. So yeah, they definitely sold here. It's the kind of car that people in Mexico City would buy because it gets really good mileage. It's small and doesn't take up much room and stuff.
Brandon says, "Fine, you all got the deal when I come down to National. My car is it's gonna be like a showcase car. I'll take it to a car show." Kim says, "Yes, we're setting up for a live tonight.
Okay, thank you.
I just don't want to start moving everything because it's a lot of things. And without your help, it's gonna be
Well, I get to have my spaghetti tonight.
well. I guess you don't have to sleep here tonight.
Shelby, I had a Prius. I sold it last month. You made a good trade.
A 2009, please.
Mopar V8 is much better than a Prius.
Tanner's here.
Hello, Tanner.
Tanner says, "Hey Shelby, can I have your number, please? Your car is so pretty. So are you."
Tanner, you don't have to hit on her when she's actually with you.
Superlux says, "If you
You
watch."
might not know that, but you really don't have to.
Oh, but it's nice. You can hit on me if you want to.
Get her flowers.
How dare you? You have never gotten me flowers.
No, and I won't.
You're so rude. You're getting me flowers when I die.
You won't know
You
though.
better get me. I'm gonna ask my friends.
You won't know.
I have a witch as a friend. City Burlock says, if you watch the video before and after, you'll see the improvement. It's an M124 Mercedes, I think.
Okay.
Buckley says, I've always wanted to tap into the 220V side of the battery and convert to AC voltage to power the house.
On a Prius?
Oh, Barracuda's here.
Where?
Barracuda's here.
Oh, there's Barracuda. Hello, Barry.
Barracuda says, the Mexican roosters wear shoes because the ground's hot. Socks too?
No. They have their little nails out there just in case anything happens. The rooster out there, when I was trying to shoo him out of here before I fed the other ones, I kept moving forward towards him, and he's like going on one side of the tree, then he goes on the other side of the tree. I was trying to get him to come at me. Like, come on, man, come on.
Stop.
But no, he wouldn't do it.
Don't bother chickens.
Because he may be the male of
the father of the chickens.
Yeah, if you want to call it that.
Brother says, I'm in love with Moper K. Ooh. Drama.
She has a husband, and he has guns.
Wildfly says, I say make a hybrid useful in hybrid ways.
Yeah.
Chris says, Barracuda, good day, sir. Tanner says, hey man, I have to romance her every chance I can. See? He knows how it works. Brendan says, I'm going to date her.
You have to get by her husband and her father-in-law first, and they have plenty of guns. So good luck with that. Plus, you're sitting next to your girlfriend.
Ooh, more drama. Shelby says, I'd rather him buy stuff for my car. Okay.
You're definitely a car girl.
Kim says, always flirt with your girlfriend. See, always flirt with your girlfriend.
She said girlfriend, not wife. We got
always flirt with your girl.
Thank you, Kim. You didn't say wife, so I don't have to. She was very specific in what she said.
No. Shelby says hi to Vintage. Barry says hello, Chris. Tanner says, I'll show my affection by working on her car and teaching her how to work on them herself.
Yeah, because she's going to need it if she goes to No Name Nationals.
City Burlock says, Spec, I never got my girlfriend of 25 years any flowers. Got her jewelry. Ah. Do you got me jewelry?
How about if I get you a necklace with a silver pendant of flowers? Will you be quiet after that?
Depending on the flowers.
No conditions. No conditions.
Well, places umbrellas are good for scaring off roosters.
I don't need an umbrella.
Chris
I just got myself.
Chris says, judicious use of flowers does pay dividends, Jen.
See? It always seemed to me to be the indication of a dying love, since the flowers die really quickly after you give them to her. So I've never been a fan.
But you could buy me plants. Go to Home Depot.
I don't want you killing any more plants.
Hey, I kept that plant alive for over 2 years.
And how many have you killed?
I didn't kill any.
Countless.
You drowned them.
Countless.
You drowned them.
No, countless.
You drowned my plants in
One
front of
is
the
still
house.
alive. Many have perished.
No, it's not true. How many plants have I bought?
Over the years, a lot.
No es cierto.
Yes, it
no
is.
es
Yeah,
cierto.
yeah.
How many plants have I bought? What did I buy?
I lost count.
No es cierto. We
Okay.
had a front garden that
You
came
kept
with the
dragging
house.
me to the plant area of Home Depot.
Yeah, to look at them.
Mm-hmm.
I never bought any.
Uh-oh.
Anyway.
Look what Shelby said.
No, hold on. But Shelby says, I'm going to wait patiently and to become Tanner's wife.
Careful, Tanner.
What? Why?
Because Shelby's already planning.
So? Butterfly says, imagine a dingleberry liner for the windshield as a gift.
She doesn't have a car.
Dingleberry liner?
Yeah, the things that hang down like in the Cheech and Chong movies.
Ah, okay.
We're not in Southern California, Vilefly.
Butterfly says, frilly liners for the windshield.
We're not in Southern California. That stuff doesn't fly here.
Tanner says, Shelby is very much waiting for that day. Shelby says, 25 years later.
Possibly.
City Burlock says, get her some garnet jewelry, dark red stones. Oh, yes, I love garnet.
I'm very lucky in that Mrs. Spec does not like gold jewelry. She doesn't.
Yes. Bode Carofano's here.
Hello, buddy.
And they say, why buy flowers when you can buy hot dogs? Yes,
exactly. I bought you a hot dog a week ago.
A week ago. I know. You did not buy me a hot dog. The members buy me a hot dog. You just paid for it.
2 weeks ago.
With their money.
No.
Yes.
I have not gotten their money yet.
But you will?
Maybe. That's not a guarantee. I paid for it with my money.
Tanner says, I've only bought flowers once. The girl broke up with me 2 weeks later. I'll just pick the fresh ones from now on. Bowflex is laughing. Barracuda says, I saw shoes for dogs on a YouTube video.
People make all kinds of crazy things for animals. I see animals here with sweaters on.
Well,
and it's freaking hot here.
Well, yeah, but like shoes for dogs, I do understand because sometimes the floor is completely hot and their paws can burn. Like the dog that you rescued in Las Vegas that day. Yeah, so I understand shoes for dogs.
Or just keep them inside the darn house.
Yeah, but sometimes they do have to go out. Like working dogs, the working dogs have to go out.
Working dogs don't have shoes on.
They do. I'll show you over there.
How you like this one, Chris?
City Burlock says our landlord just cut down a 40-foot tree just to save labor raking leaves. Oh, that's so rude.
That could have turned out really bad. A 40-foot tree comes down hard.
Believe says, what do you call a sheep wrapped in plastic? Laminated.
You don't like Tanner's comment above it?
Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry. Moved the thing moved. Vintage. Sorry, Tanner says, to be fair, I had a girl plan a wedding after I met her once. I didn't even like her at that point. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, some girls can be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And Shelby says, Tanner's been dropping hints, kinda.
I had a girl tell me she wanted me to buy her a house, and she was still married to her husband, and he was in jail at Nellis Air Force Base for being a drug dealer. Then she told me I wasn't good enough for her because I didn't do drugs. Yes, absolutely crazy.
Yep.
When she said, I want you to buy me a house, I'm thinking, I already have a house. Why the hell would I buy you anything?
Mm-hmm. Chris says, my wife doesn't like gold jewelry either. Too gaudy. What is gaudy?
Just stands out too much. Like that.
Paco Alfa's here.
Hello, Paco. Hola, Paco.
Paco dice, hola amigos, aquí apenas llegando, dejando like y toda la buena vibra. Gracias, Paco.
Gracias.
Shelby says, I sold $75 worth of dog clothes last week.
Somebody paid $75 for dog clothes?
They do sell, let me tell you. Butterfly says, I can make chainmail jewelry, but no one around me wears jewelry. Can I buy it? Where's Butterfly located?
Not here.
Aww.
Turn this around.
I like chainmail. Coffee.
What is that site that all of the artists put their stuff on?
Etsy.
Do you have an Etsy site,
I already asked
Biofly?
him.
Well, maybe he got it since then. Oh, and she sold a dresser to store them in too.
Tanner says, "What makes just part?" No, he was dragging
I have a little stool here that I put my drink on, and I just turned it around
I would have complained if he farted.
90 degrees. 90 degrees.
You would have heard me complaining.
Yes. It did have cereal this morning though, with chocolate syrup. So
Says, I just saw a video about an air-cooled V8. Never heard of that. It said baffles Chrysler engineers.
that it takes a lot to cool down a V8 with just air.
Baffles says, no exit site. Sorry.
No time like the present to start one.
It's not that good anymore.
Shelby says, your drink, your diet, Dr. Kelp.
What?
I don't know. It looks like on this Beetle here, the guy just bought these seats because they do not belong in that year car. But there's people in this country that you send them your seats, or they have seats ready to buy front and back in this style, and you have to send them your seats, and then they'll recover those and sell them to somebody else. So people just put these new seats. This is the original fabric that came in some of these cars, but not in this year.
I don't follow SpongeBob. Sorry. Then it says Shelby usually doesn't complain when I fart. She just farts back. No. Papa says, yeah, but my hands hurt at the end of the day. Marguda says, I like those gold Moroso ball covers. Tanner says, Max doesn't understand SpongeBob references. Both of
No,
us
that was way before my time.
Before?
Yes. No, sorry, after my time. After. It does not look like an interesting cartoon for me to watch more than maybe one episode.
I do see the
none of it makes any sense to me. How is the squirrel able to live under the water with just the thing on her head?
It has that tree that creates oxygen on her house. So she replenishes oxygen daily. And it doesn't have to make sense as a cartoon.
How are they eating hamburgers underneath the water?
It's a cartoon.
Exactly. Things have to make sense, like Elmer Fudd shooting a gun.
Sure, okay.
Or Bugs Bunny twisting the gun backwards so it shoots back at him. That makes sense.
Sure. Okay. Chris says plankton rules. No, disagree. Buffalo says chainmail just requires good wire cutters, 2 small pliers, wire, and 1 dowel rod.
And good hands, Wildfly.
Strength. Yes. Sorry. Shelby says it's such good brain rod. Tanner says it's a cartoon. It never makes sense.
All cartoons make sense.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Chris says they're not hamburgers. They're Krabby Patties.
Are you guys gonna go see the movie? What is it? Acme. It's Wile E. Coyote versus Acme. He's in the movie. He's gonna be suing Acme for all the failures of the products that he's bought over the years.
Well, don't spoil it.
That's the movie. It should be pretty funny. Like I don't know. They've been delaying it for years, but it's finally going to be coming out at some point.
Says, Mr. Spec, ever heard of an Ford F-130? Being confirmed it was an F-130.
No, never heard of it. We have F-100 here. We have B-100 here. We have F-200 here, but not a 130.
Tanner says, that sounds like an awesome movie.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. Depending on how they do it. They leave all the woke stuff out, and like recently they redid the Bugs Bunny cartoons where Elmer Fudd doesn't have a gun anymore. I don't know what he has, but it's not a gun. He's hunting the wabbit without a gun. They substituted it for something that won't scare people or something. I don't know, but they just need to leave that stuff alone.
Shelby says, I've been telling Tanner we need to take this scamp to a drive-in.
Why
This
his
scamp
scamp? Wait, which one?
to a drive-in movie.
Which scamp?
He said his.
He has a race car and he has a red one.
I don't know. Bobla says, I use soft wire for chainmail, like copper. Copper jewelry is underrated as a jewelry metal. Just have to clear coat it.
Okay. So I think Shelby's telling us that they have a drive-in movie theater where they are,
Mm.
which most of us do not anymore.
Triple says it was an F100 with an F250 axles, front and back, egg-lug.
Oh, okay. Was that made by the factory or was that made afterwards?
Tanner says the red stack. It has a bench seat.
Oh, that's perfect.
And Shelby is.
I never did the drive-in theater with a girl.
Did you do it with a boy?
If I tried to do that with my Fury and take the redhead with me, she would have broken down on me halfway there, like she did many times. So I didn't even attempt it. There's a drive-in theater about 60 miles away, Tanner says. So you got to add in the gas to all that. So, nah, about an hour away, I guess. Barry, are there many drive-in movies around these days? You mean theaters? Drive-in movie places? They can show any movie they want there. Shelby says it's on Route 66. That makes sense.
Do you
Firefly.
think? Sorry,
What?
I have a question.
What?
Do you think an open drive-in theater like that can show like a PG-16 movie, being that it's open and like outside public can see it?
PG-13.
16.
It was they're 13 and then they're 17.
Okay, 17.
Yes, because it's not available to the public. The way they have them set, the screen is going backwards, and they have everything covered back there with growth and stuff. You can't just you know that wouldn't make sense if everybody can just go on the outside of it and watch the movie anyway.
Well, technically, if it's too far, you wouldn't be able to enjoy it, but could you see it?
Maybe.
Okay, go ahead.
Vilefly says usually women do a much better job at chainmail jewelry, small hands, eye for details and stuff. Yeah, I can see that. Factory. Ben says F-130. I've never heard of it or seen it in any books. Chris says there's a drive-in maybe 25 minutes away. I'm surprised because most of them the property was worth more than anything they can make showing movies, so most people just sold out. They were like in California, they always had a every Sunday they would have a swap meet. They made more on the swap meet than during the week for the movie.
We have one here.
Firefly says it's like someone who knits versus someone who knits with crowbars. Yeah. Tanner, the Reds camp gets about 21 miles per gallon. It's quite fuel efficient. Mark Sauvé is here. Mark Sauvé is here. Hello, Mark.
Hey, Mark. Sorry, I was eating.
Chris says to
I'm
Mark,
crunching.
good day, Mr. Sauvé. Long time no see. Are you feeling okay, Mark? Feeling better? CD Burr, like my brother and his friend used to accidentally on purpose go to the wrong car at drive-in theater to pick up girls. That's a way to do it, unless they're with a guy already. Mark Sauvé to Chris, hey man, yeah, I've been laying low, sick, and absolutely stressed out. But there seems to be light at the end of the tunnel. You're not supposed to go towards the light, really. That's what they say.
Cerebral is pretty tricky idea. Office is be right back. Mark says getting there.
Good.
Barracuda says, I went to a drive movie in my Valiant Pacer Coupe in Melbourne, Australia in 1989. The movie was burned on a wire.
How do you like the interior of this Volkswagen van, Chris?
I've never heard of
It's
him.
wild.
I mean, well, Chris says to Mark, so sorry to hear that, man. Better rather stressing here as
Been
well.
rather
Oh,
stressing.
or Ben rather, sorry. Mark says, Mexican Spec, lol, seems tempting, though, lol.
Yeah, well, hopefully not, Mark. Don't you just love the interior, the headliner, the walls, the front seats,
It's making me dizzy.
all of this crazy material? I don't know what the blue light is on the dash. It's supposed to be red, I think. That's supposed to be a brake light, and it's supposed to be red.
Flashlight?
Yeah,
Mm.
and it looks like the headlight button is broken off. So weird. Even on the front door panels, they have that pattern. The seats, like what is that, leopard?
No sé.
Look.
Ah, sí, sí, sí. Sí, es de pardo.
Yeah, that's a bit too much. I mean, accents is one thing, but door panels, the whole rear part of the
Or more like
truck,
cheetah, actually.
the
Because
whole
they're smaller.
headliner front to back. Oh my god.
It's more like cheetah because it's smaller print. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, that was a bit big for the turn signal arm, Mark.
It's got a snack bar and scoop out cars with two girls. Genius was Vince, his friend. Chris says miniature leopard skin fabric. I think
Is
it's
it
cheetah.
miniature?
Yeah, yeah, because it's really
Cheetah?
fun. Because leopard's print is big.
Maybe it's just from baby cheetahs. Well, baby cheetahs don't have spots, do they?
No.
They grow in later. But it's just a bit much for me. Because even driving it, you're going to see it out your peripheral vision on the driver's door and the headliner and stuff. So, no thanks. Where's Dean to see all these Mustangs? Do you guys like the more random way of doing it instead of putting it in order of the year model, going from old to new? So that's what I've been doing, randomizing it. Where were you planning on putting your desk? In the closet? And moving the closet? So you're going to work in the closet?
No, I'm gonna move the ghost over here. I'm gonna switch them. And I'm gonna take some of the stuff that is in bags. I'm gonna put them in the bag.
The reason that I sent the clothes back from Veracruz is because we didn't have the vacuum. We didn't, that how we got everything in there was sucking this down.
Lester says random seems good.
That's good. You never know what's coming next, whether it's going to be old or new or whatever. It has air conditioning. Nice. I just published a 79 Plymouth Volare today. Slants Super 6 under the hood, factory heater and factory air conditioning. And it's just as clean as a car can get. Absolutely beautiful in dark blue.
Silver says you should sell Mrs. Speck's voice for GPS. Get royalties for life.
Oh,
I'm gonna go with your lying, but thank you.
there's already a female voice on our GPS. And it's funny because we have her in English, but we're driving around Mexico and she has to say all of the words in Mexico, the words that I can't say.
I can put it in Spanish.
I think that one was automatic. Burlock. I think that Mustang was automatic. But it's funny to hear her say, especially when we're closer to the southern part of the country, the words get pretty long. The names get pretty long there.
Mm-hmm.
Funny. She says something, and then I look up at the sign to see how it's supposed to be said.
Cihuatanejo.
Uh huh.
Silver says Mustang stick or automatic.
Automatic. I'm gonna have to really look at that because it has a Mustang front end, So that may mean it's an automatic, and when it has a Capri front end, no, because I've seen Capri front ends with automatics in them. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just how people ordered their cars, what front end they want on it, which transmission they wanted in it, air conditioning or no, stuff like that. Even in Mexico, it's hard to find a Renault like this in nice condition. But it looks like the under the hood is a lighter yellow than the paint, so maybe it was painted.
This says, what is the yellow car?
It's a Renault 12. I should have turned that picture around, but turn your devices upside down to see the engine correctly.
The report says 3-speed C4 probably.
Yes, no overdrives here. There's still some Renaults in good condition here, or that are well taken care of.
Tanner says, y'all have fun. I'm hopping off to go shower. I'm about to get paid to shower. Woohoo!
Nice.
You're about to get paid to shower.
I think he's at work.
Can I get paid to shower?
I think he's at work.
Can I get paid to shower?
If you do it at work. 94,000 kilometers on this car in 50 years.
Silver says, looks like an AV210 Datsun.
If you saw it from way back, no, it doesn't look like that at all. Either the sedan or the hatchback.
Hey Tanner, are they hiring?
You need special training to be a paramedic.
I thought you were gonna say they need special training to shower while you get paid.
Well, that too. You need the special training to get into a position to take a job where they pay you to shower.
Okay, fine.
And this one has the composite headlights that weren't allowed in the US either. What is this car?
Are you asking me? Are you asking the group in general?
Yep.
Well, it does have a name right there. Silverlock says if a 54K miles really long.
Yep. A lot of these cars were just neighborhood cars. They never went out on the highway or anything, in the 50 years that they've been in existence. There's no front license plate on this car. That's a bad sign.
Regular says, I'm going to have to shower tomorrow. Are you going to get paid for it?
Probably not.
Believe says, my aunt had a Fiero.
How did she get into it? More importantly, how did she get out of it?
Silverlock says, fire hazard.
Not really. Some had that problem, but if they're well taken care of, it's not an issue. There's no license plate on the rear of it either.
Chris says, we're good at first Monday of the month already.
I was working at a Chevy dealer in 1987, 1988. And in 1988, the owner sold the Pontiac dealer that he owned. And the new owner didn't want all of the crap that was on the lot. So he sent us over all the Pontiac Le Manses, even if they had no miles on them because they're garbage. He sent us over any cars that had any kind of miles on it. So, like, cars like the 88 Pontiac Fiero GT, he sent some of those came over, some Bonnevilles came over, all kinds of stuff that I had to put on our used car lot to sell as used cars because they had miles on them, and we're not a Pontiac dealer, so we couldn't sell them new. So, yeah, and some Fieros that weren't GTs too.
The perfect car for electric conversion.
Yeah, the little motor will fit back there, definitely. 2002 Volkswagen Beetle, getting close to the last year. Yeah, the Fieros definitely have a following, and I just remember them when they were new. So I don't know what happened after that because I never bought and sold them afterwards. I never went after them at the auction or anything. The pop-up headlights were always very clumsy. The motors made a lot of noise, and
Fear, proud. In what
Stop
language?
moving your leg.
Fear.
Okay. I don't know why that would mean proud.
I don't know
But
what language.
when I bought a new '87 Pontiac, it was a Pontiac Sunbird SE with the little flip up headlights in a 5 speed manual in carmine red 2 door. It was a really neat little car. I don't know. Okay. Didn't translate him up there. Fiero. I don't know.
Because it knew it was speaking English with the other words.
Mm.
Silverlock says, do you ever drive a GTP?
Nope. I recently published one from here, a black 4 door GTP 1999 model, 66,000 miles on it. Um, like it's got 107,000 kilometers on it, so it's 66,000 miles. Absolutely gorgeous car. The video the guy sent me inside and out. The interior is perfect. The paint is perfect. It's got the, what do they call it? Not mesh wheels, but it's got a certain wheel on it. I've never driven one of the supercharged cars, neither with Pontiac or with Ford. Nope. Those were fairly new by the time I left the US. 99 was when I left the US. So it was a brand new car. I rented a 4 door Grand Prix shortly before I left, and it was a really nice car, but it didn't have the supercharged engine in it. It's just a really nice driving car.
Silverlock says, like the black one or any supercharged 3.8?
I've never driven any supercharged Pontiac or Ford. Never driven a Super Coupe or a Turbo Coupe. I have driven a Turbo Mustang, and that was a bad idea for Ford in 1980. Very bad idea. They just threw the turbo on a 2.3 engine without beefing up the internals, and with 15,000 miles, there's a rod knock on it.
A rod knock?
Yeah,
Oh.
just was not a good idea, not a good plan. The guy that a dealer I worked for bought a really, and I mean absolutely gorgeous 80 Mustang Turbo in black. And any of those cars that are in black with shiny black paint and everything, the car looks spectacular. But as soon as you start it up, it's got a knock, 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 knock in the engine. It's just horrible. And it had almost no miles on it. This was in early '83.
Glenn Nickerson is here.
Hello, Glenn.
And like Nickerson says, I like the wheels on the Rambler.
Nice.
Marcelo says, my turbo experience was my 95 Chevy C2500 with the 6.5 turbo diesel.
But you're hauling a lot of weight, so you didn't really get.
The turbo turbo.
Yeah, I mean, you feel the turbo, but
you didn't feel the turbo.
Right. Before I bought my Sunbird, I went to the Isuzu dealer and test drove an Isuzu Impulse Turbo. And when the turbo kicked in, it didn't move the car forward any faster. It was absolutely worthless. And I knew that they were going to charge more on my insurance to have a turbo car. So I said, nope, no thanks, not going to happen.
Tribula says Buick has same engine until 2005, 3.8 SC.
Yep. Somebody came on. I posted the '99 Grand Prix, and very low mile car, almost perfect in every way. And the guy says, "So what is this? What is it in Mexican spec? You're just using that to raise the price?" Well, first of all, I told him, go look at what these cars are selling for with low miles. They're in the ten to $11,000 range. And second of all, the car has to travel thousands of miles to get to the U.S. to be able to be delivered. So yeah, it does cost money.
Mark says Mexican spec didn't feel much. The 6.5 turbo was an absolute third. I should have waited for a Duramax.
Yeah, I bought a new turbo diesel in an '88 Dodge truck, dually, 4-wheel drive. 4-wheel drive. Yeah, 4-wheel drive, and it moved the truck along. My problem was I bought an automatic, and as I'm fueling it up at the fuel station, because I went all the way up to Oregon to buy some cars, and I was bringing one down on a tow dolly, and it was just using fuel like crazy. And the guy next to me fueling up had the same truck but with a manual, and he's like, "No, I'm getting great fuel mileage." Well, the automatic was a mistake, definitely a mistake. You guys ever seen one of these? A smart roadster?
With a cat in the back.
No,
What's cat in the back?
it's blocking the license plate, and on the window too, to block the license plate on the window. I think they sold these in Canada as well,
He has a
just
cat.
just not the U.S.
You made a mistake
Why?
because now I look at the cat.
Oh, oh, you're looking at it as the cat. Glenn says, should have told him, if you don't like it, lump it. He probably wanted to for you to deliver it for free. Well, it's just these guys on Facebook. They think they know everything, and they're like 12 years old.
Please says only in car magazine. Deborah says that GTP price under 10K can be found here for that price.
Not a car like that. No,
Chris,
it's a gorgeous black 4-door. And there was one that was sold on the internet, but it just said sold. They didn't have a price. It was sold at one of those classic car dealers, but it was blue instead of black, but basically the same car and the same kind of mileage. I kind of stole his description a little bit and put it on mine. So
Chris says that car looks perfect. Police says that cat is demonstrating leadership potential.
mm-hmm.
You're gonna introduce?
No, Joey, shut up. Keep reading his comments.
Police says no. Wait. Mark says I don't remember seeing anything like that
I
here.
could have sworn they were sold in Canada too, because I was comparing prices with somebody at some point, because the this guy wants like 250,000 pesos for this thing, and it's a smart car.
Is it what says smart brand?
Yes, just like the little one that you guys got in the U.S. Here they sold the Smart 4.4, which was a 4-seater, plus the Roadster, which is this. And if you're going to wait for the Tesla Roadster, you might as well buy one of these first, because you higher chance you're going to get it in your hands. It's not it. This is an odd looking car, but it's rare enough that people aren't going to know what it is. I'm not sure what engine's in it though. You're going to have to look that up on Google. Obviously, the crash. This one's for you, CD Burlock. Obviously, the crash test and everything here isn't as strict as the U.S. because that car would never pass. Everything on that damn car is plastic. The whole damn front, everything.
I wonder how the Mexican car that they're planning on making will do on the trash.
They're probably not going to test it. They're just going to give it to. They're just going
Well,
to
to
give
be
it to people.
fair, it only goes so far on mileage, but that doesn't mean that the other car that will crash into it is not gonna go as fast. But yeah, Silverlock says that is much better looking.
This is a Durango RT. This is a Durango RT with the taillight covers and weird wheels and stuff like that. But this is a 2003 model. I don't like the dashboard in the 2003 model. I like my dashboard. Chris says smart cars were built with a safety cage. It's made by Mercedes after all. Yeah, the little smart cars, because they knew they were going to be bounced around after an accident. But these Roadsters and the Smart 4, I don't know, since they were not built to U.S. standards, I don't know what is going to happen to them in a crash. This one has 117,000 kilometers on it. But he says smart car looks like Lego made it. They may have had a hand in it.
Are you warm? Oh,
this is your phone.
But hold on, I was taking care of the cat.
The cat can go away.
No.
Yes. You're
Brushing.
getting hair everywhere.
I'm trying not to. I'm only petting his head.
His head has hair too.
Yeah, but shorter. Let's
I like the bigger
concentrate.
stereo that the earlier Dodges have. But the price on this is like the top of the market, and he wants like 115,000 pesos for it.
Oh no. Are you sick?
CD Burlock says, Mr. Spec, would you convert your Durango to carb? Doesn't make sense, right? No. It runs fine with fuel injection. That's what it was made to have. I would never change out what it was made to have. Glenn says, every dash light is on. Yeah, that's because the truck's not running. He just has the ignition on. Did you notice the tachometer did not was at 0? Barry says, what do you call a shoe made out of a banana? And Chris says, a slip-on. I don't know why this guy's license plate is behind his bumper. And it's a handicap license plate, so I'm not sure if that's physical or mental.
He's rolling on me.
Well, you asked for it.
Yeah, but I didn't know he was going to be rolling. Since when are you a drooler?
He's an old man now. Chris, look at this car. Caribe Plus, last year made, 1987. They made 2 doors and 4 doors. And this was their swan song. So they made this white, crisp white car, really pretty. You know, didn't sell a whole lot of them. And Barry says, a slipper. Basically the same thing.
I like a slip on better.
Chris says, oh, I'm looking at it. Yeah, it's white on white on white. It says right on the back plus. And it was only the 1 year, the last year they made this car. And the last year for this body style in Mexico or anywhere else. Everywhere else had already changed over to the new Golf in 85. But in Mexico, they kept this until 87. CD Burlock says there's.
Somebody open the door.
Yeah, Danny. There's the sticking point. The original parts are not available new, so modernized to an EFI. There's parts everywhere for all kinds of cars. You just have to look for them. People here adopt the 2-barrel Ford carburetor to just about everything in the country. It's the most dependable carburetor ever. So it doesn't matter if it's Chrysler or Chevrolet, they put the 2-barrel Ford carburetor on it.
Glenn says you could lose a Volkswagen in a pork pine.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. But this was the last year model, so they made their best car. And it really stands out in a crowd.
Because of the color?
Yeah, because of the color, because of the special seats.
I mean, you could lose it in a pork pine because of the color?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's all white. As white as it can be.
Chris says, dang, plaid interior as well.
Plaid. Yeah.
Silver says 1950 Range Rover.
I'm sure those parts are in England.
Chris says, well, yes.
It is a 4-door, so you know there's less market for it. Vilefly's back. Vilefly. Rewind. Vilefly is back. He could be. I don't know.
I'm not judging. Are you trolling still? Are you sick? What's wrong?
He's not drooling.
Yeah, he's trolling right there.
He's just looking at me.
No, he's trolling.
He just wants you to scratch him.
Not scratching him.
He didn't tell you to stop scratching him.
I'll stop anyway.
Got to show you each and every door, Chris. Every door. Yeah, somebody probably restored this car.
Chris says, once you go black, you never go back.
No comment, Chris.
Barracuda says, what do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. Police says, meow. Papa says, nope, just half Peruvian. Look white though.
Mm.
Ah, my nose, my knee, my knee, dude. You're sticking your knees on your needles on my knee. Tribunal says, I own a 1986 GTI Rabbit. Teenager ran a red light and totaled it.
That would have been a GTI Golf in the US. There was no rabbits in 1986.
But the car says, good car to save on gas with.
Oh yeah, this thing doesn't use any gas at all. And this is the original advertisement for it. The two-door actually, but and then we come to a really pretty 1980 Dodge Super Bee. Chris says there's a lot to like about the Caribe. And Mark says to Chris, we've been stressing over getting our house sold. We finally accepted an offer, but there's a few things to get the green light on to finalize the sale. Yeah, there's always some things like that. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Well, you're supposed to be.
You're reading.
We're on a live.
Yeah, we're reading.
PD Burlock. No rabbit in 1986? I will Wikipedia it. Yeah, in 1985 in the US, they changed the name to Golf when they redesigned the car. Volkswagen Golf in 1986. Golf GTI. In Mexico, we only had the Caribe GT because there was no I on it, which stood for injection. It had a carburetor.
Tribunal says, golf didn't show up in Bakersfield.
I'm sure they did.
Chris says to Mark, market down here is crazy. Houses around here sell in less than a week and people are paying 40K plus over asking price. Dan says, I like this. Tribunal says, be right back.
Yeah, this is a really nice car and he knows it. He wants a lot of money for this. I'm not a fan of the wheels or the rear wheels sticking out farther than the rear fenders. But there's one of these 2 hours from me. It's blue. It's a really nice car. This one's a manual. The one close to me is an automatic. But it's a much more reasonable price than this guy wants. This guy knows what he has. And it's in the southern part of the country in Puebla. So it's not real easy to get at. The interior is just as nice as the exterior.
Do you have your phone with you?
No.
Um,
I don't like wheels sticking out farther than the wheel wells. Not necessary.
but how are you supposed to put the spikes that poke other people's tires if they're not sticking out?
You're not supposed to.
Yeah, that's not fun.
I think this was called an RT or something like that, an Aspen RT or a Plymouth Roadrunner in the US. But this one has the 360 under the hood with the 4-speed manual transmission on the floor. This one is definitely the car to have. And it has the Super Bee all over it. Yeah, and that's the original license plate that was on it from 1980, expired in 81, where they had to get a new plate every year or every 2 years.
Okay.
He's just showing the original stickers that are still on the car, showing you how original the car is.
Papa says pistol grip.
Yeah, the pistol grip is fun to drive with the Stay Tough steering wheel, something like that. Stay Tough, Stay Puff, something like that. What does that say? 61,000 kilometers on it. And of course, it's original kilometers, just like every car in the US these days. AM radio, still in place. Nobody has touched this car other than the stupid wheels.
No me arruñes, güey. No, no, esa es en la cama. Es mi rodilla.
Hey, wash your hands. Wash your hands. Tough wheel. Yeah, that's what I said, right? Super tough, something like that.
I don't
On this one, I'm looking to see is it a Mexican car because it's a convertible. So I don't know if somebody made it because I don't think they made convertibles in the factory here, but it does have the smaller turn signals on it, being a 1969 model. I'm not sure about this car, what its origins are. Well, maybe it's a U.S. car because it has bigger taillights. The Mexican 69 car still has the smaller 67 taillights. So I don't know. I don't think there's a shot of the speedometer on this one. But they do want a ton of money for this car too. A ton. Which is probably why they still have it. Because it does look like an original convertible. Not that somebody cut the roof off and put that big convertible top on it, because everything fits just right.
Mark says to Chris, ours is evaluated at the township for 4,400.
440,400.
Yes, and it finally accepts uh, 200,000. It needs a lot of work, and the garage is about to collapse. Chris says that's a U.S. car, I think. Big bumpers and the reflectors on the side of the rear lights.
Yeah, but those could have been added over the years.
Pablo says,
That's why I really don't know. You can't bank on that.
I wonder if I could take pictures of classic dash displays and digitize them on an LCD screen. Would be ironic to display analog gauge clusters on a digital dash. Chris says all convertibles were built at the Carmen Coachworks in Honest, Honestbrook, Osnabrück,
Osnabrück.
Osnabrück, Germany.
Well, then maybe this one was imported over the years. I wonder if it has. See that, but then 69s didn't have the gas tank like that. It had the exterior fill.
Pablo says wood grain and all. Chris's rear deck led to just 1,500 cc single-port engine.
Well, he's asking too much money, so I'm not really worried if it's U.S. or Mexican. But
Lester says no front side marker lights, not US.
I don't think they had front side marker lights because you could see the turn signal from the side.
Chris says,
That it's kilometers.
Yep, gas tank is wrong.
The speedometer is kilometers. Maybe it's a German import directly from Germany. Did they use kilometers all that time? Got kilometers on the speedometer, but that's easy to go to the place in Guadalajara and buy a new speedometer. So I don't know. Hard to say.
What are you able to say with the bin?
No, the VINs were the same everywhere.
Hmm. I have cat hair on my nose.
It's only a 8-digit VIN, I think, 8 or 9-digit VIN. There's 4 numbers and then the 6 series numbers. I don't know.
Chris says if it's European, 69 will be the first year the pilot dash for them of the pilot dash.
There's too many questions around this car. But he wants a lot of money for it. I mean, we're talking like between 600,000 and 700,000 pesos for it.
Mm.
So I don't know. Here's a rarely seen car too. 2001 Peugeot 306 wagon.
Chris says nine-digit DIN will be correct for a 69. Should start with a 119.
There's no plate on it, so I couldn't run it to see what the VIN was. Somebody's giving us a bunch of 100s. Who likes Peugeots that much?
Oh, I can't see it here. I can't see it. It's like
They're coming here.
I see something black going by, but I can't see it.
Station wagons always fascinate me because they had to design the taillights to fit on the wagon, but still be in the family of the taillights that were on the sedan. They had to look similar. So what they did on this one, the red, and then they got the other color on the side.
Versus older Peugeots, maybe.
Well, this one is an automatic, unfortunately, which is probably its weak point. But it's made it till now in this kind of condition, so maybe it's a good car.
Firefly pushes the Peugeot away with a stick.
It can't be that bad, Vilefly. Yes, it can. The electrical systems.
Hercules says it's a Volkswagen Beetle mounted up high on a pole in the.
I'm sure it's been there for a long time since it had zero value.
Leslie says Scott and Cobalt motors like Peugeots.
Yes, he does. But he doesn't really do anything with them. And he likes the Renault 5s also.
Dan says Peugeot.
Yep.
Papa says yep, electrical.
Mm-hmm. All French cars have electrical problems. But they're still around. Yes, Dan, 1967, last year for the glass reverse lights. It's like it's missing a piece of trim on the trunk. It's weird how people want so much money for these. The Fords, the mid to late 60s Fords, the Chevys, anything like this. They want a lot of money.
I wouldn't know how to pronounce that, so I'm gonna leave it to you.
The worst mispronunciation of Peugeot I ever heard was Puegat. Pue.
Papa says now it's stuck in my head.
It was Piugat. If you want to go for it, Piugat. Piugiat. Now this one has the center console for your to hold your seat belts and those lights in the front, which is a really hard thing to find in one of these. So I'm not sure if this was originally a bucket seat car or not. 67 is not my favorite model. I like the 66 and I like the 68 a lot. The 67, because of the dashboard, is not my favorite. Console with column shift. Yep, definitely. Now, I don't know how Ford was back at the time in Mexico, if you could order a car or you just took what was on the lot. I don't know how things worked back then. I have seen these with the console and the floor shift, but look where that ashtray is, where the shifter would be. So it looks like it's factory like that. They put the ashtray on the center console, probably because the air conditioning unit is where the ashtray would be, and then it has a column shift, which looks weird. Kind of, it's curved that it where it shouldn't be curved. Chris says to Vilefly, Louisiana? Probably as bad as French rap sound, Vilefly says. And Barry says, Paris is in Texas. Yes, there is a Paris in Texas. G200J is here.
Hey G200. So what's the most popular car sold in Mexico in recent times?
I don't know the answer to that question because we used to see that in the car magazines here. The Suru was the most popular, or the Beetle was the most popular, or whatever. I honestly don't know what the question is. The answer is because we have 25 companies selling 25 Chinese car companies selling cars here, so that dilutes the sales. So I don't know who has that car anymore. who sells the most cars. Probably a Volkswagen of some kind, because
Yeah.
that's the go to for most people here.
Firefly says, I will never live in Louisiana.
Nobody should.
Dan says,
I
I
did it.
did column it looks like.
Small block Ford.
Leslie says, my cousin had a Peugeot 604 and the fuses were white torpedo shaped with copper strips, I think. It ended up catching fire. She said I was right when I told her not to buy it.
She should have listened to you before that.
Papa says, plastic with copper strips. I hate those fuses.
Yeah, those are the European style.
Virgula says, I bet it's not gay Paris in Texas.
Gay Paris.
Borlock says, I'm back. My car was a 1984, but Wikipedia calls the MK1 a Golf, but in the USA it was a Rabbit. Golf in Germany.
Right.
Wrecked it in 1986.
And Caribe in Mexico. They were doing a Caribbean theme. So the Rabbit was a Caribe and the Jetta was an Atlantic. Not Atlantica, not Atlantico, but Atlantic.
Yeah,
Like the English word for it, for some reason,
like the ocean.
Because on the horn pad it said Atlantic on it. Maybe they didn't have the space to put Atlantico. They didn't have the space for the extra digit, so I think they just went with Atlantic. And Firefly says it was Wabbit season. Yep. Chris says first generation of the Golf, 74 to 84, was called Rabbit here in the U.S. Second generation later was called Golf. Huh?
Did somebody got stuck?
Somebody's doing a whole bunch of hundreds. I don't know what that is.
Did somebody's button get stuck?
And Dan says Hassenpfeffer. I think that's from Laverne and Shirley.
Ciruelo says Mexico had convertibles also.
No, they did not.
Dan says Boca taillights.
Yes, they are. And they are not two Pinto taillights together. It's a Bobcat taillight. I kind of like the color on this. It really stands out. A lot of chrome on the engine too, and lots of clean stuff. It's got a serpentine belt, which I don't like. But other than that, it's pretty clean under the hood. But it's got a bench seat with a floor shift, a very short floor shifter. So I wonder how that is, and a tiny steering wheel. And I hate those aftermarket turn signals. I have that on my 63 Plymouth, but they're going to go once I replace the steering column. I have another steering column for it for when I put an automatic, a V8 automatic in the car.
Dan says 3G alternator.
Mm-hmm.
E5.
Looks like a fun car to drive. I don't know why it's sitting so high up on its wheels, though. Kind of weird. And that bench seat does not look original to a Maverick.
Okay, says, okay, time to go. Eating out tonight. Ooh.
Oh, have a good time, Vilefly.
Thank you for coming.
We ate out last night. We went to our taco place, and I like going back to the same place because we sat down, and the guy, it's a family-run business, so the father is cooking, the son came over, his sister was there also as a waitress, and then the granddaughter, the daughter was there. So the son came over. He's like 35 or whatever, and he comes to the table and he looks at me and says, "Corn tortilla taco, plain, right? No fat on the meat." I said, "Yeah, it's exactly what I want." And then he asked her what she wanted. Yeah, because he didn't know hers, but he remembered mine. But yeah, it was good. I had two of them. The meat was so good. Did not leave there hungry.
Maricula says, Leven and Shoily, Archie Bunker said. Mm-hmm. Chris says, Biofly later, dude. Dan says, later Biofly, enjoy. Cerebro says, driveway, Wikipedia needs editing because they called the first version a Golf. It was a Golf in Germany where the car came from. And all of Europe, they sold it as a Golf. It was only in the U.S. that it was a Rabbit. So yes, while Wikipedia is correct. Biofly says, literal, mom likes eating at the Cracker Barrel. The irony. Never been to one. Dan says lots of cheese there at least. Glenn says I like Cracker Barrel too.
So I had two tacos, which is actually four tacos because they serve a lot of meat in the one tortilla, but it has another tortilla underneath. So I split the meat between the two, which gives me two. And then I ordered another one, which was another two. So I had four tacos last night. And then I had two ice cold Cokes in the glass bottle, but they were only 355 milliliters. So, and then Mrs. Spec had her one that she put a whole bunch.
Mixta.
Yeah, it was mixta, which means it has the meat and cheese in it. And then they gave her grilled onions and everything else that was on the table, the all of the vegetables and the guacamole and everything else that she wanted, and she stacked it all on there, and she had her taco, and that all came to 360 pesos for the with the drinks and everything. She had a jamaica.
And we had extra little frijol tacos,
Oh yeah,
bean tacos.
bean tacos too. We had five of those, so that came to 360 for both of us, which is a little less than $20.
Me está dando hambre contigo.
Yeah, I get to have my spaghetti tonight.
Dan says Polo. Barracuda says, a friend had a Nissan like that. He repowered it with an English 4v6.
Oh, okay.
Lester says, what's Cool Rabbit?
This is a U.S. truck. This truck was never sold in Mexico. We didn't have four-wheel drives. We didn't have extra cabs. We didn't have any of that. Definitely a U.S. truck. Doesn't seem to have too many miles on it either.
Oh, Chris says, rabbit with round headlights equals made in Germany. Rabbit with rectangular headlights equals made in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
Cityborlock says, Barry, the Range Rover engine. Dan says, love what? Joshua Man is here.
Hello, Josh.
Hey, Joshua Man. Chris says, hey, Josh. Joshua Man says, 355 milliliters equals 12 ounces.
Oh, okay. I never even paid attention to that, but yeah, I had two of them. The guy comes back. I said, "Do you have ice?" He says, "No, all the ice melted. They've only been open for a half hour. All the all the ice melted."
No, but it was from last night.
Well,
The ice.
whatever, which means he didn't get any ice in that day.
Yeah.
All the ice melted. I said, "So, but is it really cold? Is the bottle really cold?" He brings one out for me to touch it. Yes, okay, that's fine.
He said it was gonna get it at 7, and they start at 6, so
Mm-hmm.
it's not that late.
Well, we were there at 7 and no ice came in.
No. Regular says, I think the V6 is called an Essex, like an English Ford Zephyr was.
Yeah, I had that engine in my 76 Pinto wagon, the V6. It always started and ran, never had any problems with it. Dependable engine. You guys have seen this one before.
Cityborlock says 500 milliliters equals 16.9 ounces.
Well, they have the 355. They have the 600 milliliter here. Do they have a 500 milliliter? Half liter in Coke?
Glasses,
I don't think so.
Mm.
I think they have the 355, the 600, and then the 1 liter, 2 liter, 2.5, 3 liters in not glass bottles, but that would be a really heavy glass bottle of 3 liters of Mexican Coca-Cola. You would not be able to lift that.
The biggest glass I think is 750.
The water bottle we get is 5 gallons. So, yeah, 3 liters would be.
So you're saying
really
that I can lift 5 gallons?
Yes, you can lift 5 gallons. You do it every week.
Glenn says 32 ounces is equals 1 quart. The Borlock says that was a great engine. Used it in Jaguars too, I think.
After they computerized it. Mine didn't have any computers at all, and it always started.
Chris says, 3 liters bottle of Mexican Coke. And Father's Day is coming up soon.
You know the problem with that, Chris, is that if you don't use all 3 liters the first time you open up the bottle, the next time you go to the bottle, it has no gas in it.
Yeah.
The gas, whatever happens, it goes out of it quickly. So you got to use the 3 liters as soon as you open it. I buy 2.5 liters for filling up my frozen Coke in the freezer, because I can fill up the 6 things, and then I have a little bit left over for my 7th one. So 1 2 liter is the 7 days of the week for my frozen Coke. I wonder if Chris is going to get me anything for Father's Day.
I was wondering that too.
Well, I think we can both just stop wondering because he's not going to.
Chris says, no, wait. See, yeah, Chris says, gotta drink the 3 liters at once. Challenge accepted.
Well, your family can help you out. You don't have the 3 liters over there, do you? I think you only have the glass bottles. They even have 2.5 liter returnable bottles here. I have the 2 liter returnable bottles, but which I don't use. But it makes it even cheaper. It's cheaper when you get the returnable bottle. You just bring your bottle back to the store and you exchange it for a full one.
Triple says 3 liters equals 33.8 times 3 equals 101.4 ounces. Chris,
Somebody likes doing math.
Chris says, no, I was going to get you something for Father's Day. Nicholson says 3 liters of Coke, enough energy for a day.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of sugar. Definitely. How come you only have 594 pictures? Oh, that's right. Like 7 or 10 of them didn't upload, right?
No sé tú. Yo
Yeah.
puse todas. Estaba un gacho y estaba otro en un archivo. Son las que estaban. Yo las bajé.
Hmm.
I downloaded the file, not picture by picture, so I wouldn't have the same issue.
People buy the 3 liters if they're having a party or something because it all goes out at the same time.
Or
But
if you're Jose, you get the whole thing yourself.
yeah, but I can't buy the 3 liter to fill up the stuff in my freezer because I can fill up the 6 things and then there's still a lot left in the bottle that I can't just freeze that whole thing because it's too much. But the next time I go into the bottle, there's no gas in it, and it doesn't make any sense to freeze frozen to Coke when there's no gas.
I know what's wrong with it. There ain't no gas in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Josh says Coke doesn't come in 3 liter bottles. Neither does Pepsi. 2 liters is the one that really. That's weird.
They're not as hardcore as Mexicans.
No, definitely not. I bet you if there's a bodega near you, you'd find it.
That's why we had so much trouble when Coca-Cola called ICE on their own people and their factory because Mexicans are their biggest consumers,
Mm-hmm.
one of their biggest consumers, and they just called ICE on them.
That's crazy. But Pepsi does not freeze well.
Mm.
Doesn't taste good. Nothing like that. So
Cerebro says we used to have 3 liter Shasta soda, but they phased out the 3 liter due to inflation.
people weren't buying it, or was it just too expensive?
Barracuda says perhaps controversial. I prefer Pepsi.
Well,
I
I don't know what it tastes like where you are, but it tastes like crap here.
Yeah, I don't like carbonated drinks. So Chris says a 3 liter bottle of Coke has almost a full pound of sugar in it.
Well, that sounds good. That makes it an even better deal because it's like 53 pesos or something for the 3 liter bottle. And if we take the cost of the sugar out, that makes it a good deal. How much is the in quantity the bag of sugar we buy?
Kilo?
1 kilo. Okay, so no, that would be because we pay like 25 pesos for that or something.
Something like that.
Okay, let's figure 15 pesos. That would bring the price down to about 40. So
Silver says the price gets closer to $4.
our 3 liters are like 54. So that would be 25, maybe probably $3 for the 3 liters here. You're gonna move the place around. I don't know how you're gonna do that with all those computers and everything there, and what you're gonna do with all that. That's a whole lot of work.
On Sunday.
On Sunday, we have to get the black car running.
It's G200 says selling any 1991 Ford LTD sedans or wagons.
I have not sold one. There are some here, the wagons. Not 91 though, because the newer front end on it, those weren't sold here new. There are some older ones, like has to be 84 was the last year, because they didn't allow V8s in cars in 85. So it would be a Grand Marquis front end, or LTD Ford front end with a Mercury rear end on the wagon. That's how it was sold here. What?
My message.
What about it? Pepsi tastes extremely sweet to me, Lester says.
My message.
Yours says Mexican Spec Real at gmail.com. Yes, that's our email.
Yes.
Are you telling him to send me an email?
Yes. You could tell him.
Well, he's just asking a question.
Yeah, if he has questions.
CD Burlock says they sell Mexican brand sugar in pounds here. You mean the cane sugar? Sugar cane? Sugar?
Oh.
That's what we have here. Something stuck. Yeah. Barry says Argent's Queensland sugar in them. That means you get the sugar from Queensland? What kind of sugar is it? Is it processed or is it cane sugar?
Okay, I think that's something. I don't know if it was me, but that's something.
Okay.
Where are you? No,
Chris asked Barry, I would think the flavor of Pepsi/Coke there might vary a bit from what we have here. I'm sure it's different everywhere because they use local ingredients to make the drink.
Glenn says the Chris, don't be a thunderman. Glenn needs his white mistress.
Me too.
White mistress.
Sugar.
Oh.
Our sugar isn't white. It's kind of a beige color because it's cane sugar.
We do have white sugar.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's processed.
But we mainly use cane sugar. Silverlock says G200, are there carbs on 1991? Dan says plexiglass back window.
On the Buick? I didn't notice that. I published this one too. Buick Skylark 350, Buick 350 under the hood. It's the Colonnade car. The prices are going up and up and up on these Colonnade cars. Try to find a 76 Oldsmobile Cutlass for sale. You're going to pay a lot of money for it.
Chris is the blend. Too much of anything is bad for you.
That's for sure.
Barracuda says cane sugar. I'm always amazed at how cheap it is.
It grows out of the ground. So it's never ending supply.
Chris says, pretty sure the standard sugar we buy at the supermarket here is beet sugar, not cane sugar. The product says Sulca brand. It's LT brown, but it's granulated. Yeah, Sulca is the brand from here.
Light brown. Yeah.
It's literally from here. Liv says, I sent a vacation story to the email you posted here. Makes sense.
A vacation story? First, tell me what a vacation is. I need to know that.
G200 says, I don't know, City Burlock. I just like the grills on those 91 LTD.
I don't think they had a fuel injection on the Crown Victorias at all until they changed the body style, and then they probably put it in there because they were working with old technology up till then.
Liv says, from the first visit to Japan.
Japan. Okay, that's interesting.
You can see the K cars.
Yeah. Buzzing all over the street, the little K cars. weaving in and out of traffic like they're motorcycles.
Regular certification is a holy thing.
Okay, that explains absolutely nothing.
Chris says, yeah, what is the vacation thing you talk about? There's only working and not working.
Yep, exactly. When we leave the house, it's not a vacation. We go out to work. But if you like what you do, it's not really work. So I don't know. What wheels would you guys put on this Mustang to make it look better?
Joshua says, vacation is when a family goes someplace far away and drive each other nuts. That's me every time Mr. Spec sells a car.
I don't drive you nuts.
You drive me nuts
I do not.
every time.
I buy you nuts. I don't drive you nuts.
Clinical says, Chris, the book I'm writing is about the secret of good health. It's entitled Germs Can Live in Artificial Environment. If you eat nothing but junk, they move on.
So you're promoting junk food?
Josh says it's stock wheels.
But what wheels would those be? And mosquito just landed on me. And this was not here. Chris says, stop it, you two. Got you. How dare you land on me? Where's all your little buddies? So few mosquitoes. You have them all here in your room.
Leslie says anything but those wheels.
Yeah, I noticed one was facing backwards and one was facing forward on the same side of the car. Who does that?
When it gets on gives you a thumbs up, Body Carafano says steel wheels with factory hubcaps for Mustang.
Hmm.
Joshua says, I don't know, I didn't engineer the car.
Maybe Magnum 500s?
Chris says, a beetle landed on you. What year was it?
Not a beetle, a mosquito. Mosquito. Throw this away before it gets stuck in my foot. There's so few mosquitoes in the house. I don't know where they're coming from. I killed a bunch of them outside all around the tires.
Do you check the tires for water?
There's no liquid in any of the tires. They're just hanging around the rubber for some reason.
Kansas Rabbit.
Caribe. And it's not a GT. It's a GL with GT stickers. I had two people ask me about this because I published it on the Samba, but neither of them bought the car because the guy had it priced at one price and then he republished it at another price. I said, why did you raise the price? He says, because the other price was without the stereo system in it and this price is with the stereo system in it. I says, well, if you take the stereo system out, you take the speakers out, you're going to rip the doors apart. So that doesn't work for me. He says, oh, I can leave those in there.
This says Wi-Fi that landed on you.
Mosquito, not fly.
G200 says, it's a shame Max doesn't like Japanese cars. It will be a GDM gold mine.
I'm not sure people here would buy them, honestly.
Or that you can bring them
There's
in.
not a huge culture for this kind of stuff. I mean, there's certain people that would, but it would not be a viable business. Yes, we can bring cars in from Japan, and it's easy because they're like right there off of our Pacific side. The ship that brings cars from Japan to Florida comes right by us, goes through the Panama Canal, goes up back up to Florida, and leaves the cars there. So it wouldn't be any big deal just to let them, you know, offload them here. But I don't think anybody would buy them here. And then we'd have to deal with all the importation process of Mexico. And I want to send cars out. I don't. Everybody else is bringing cars in. I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. I want to do my own thing because nobody expects me to be doing it.
Chris says, still a nice looking Caribe.
It is.
Joshua says parking brake doesn't work on that truck.
Apparently not. But this truck has a lot of potential. I mean, if we brought it here to where I am, the whole truck could be painted. All the little parts that look like it's rusty and stuff could be fixed. It could turn out really nice, and then the interior can be done any way you want to, like a conversion van inside. And nobody would expect it because nobody's ever seen a Dodge Carryall like this before.
Margarita says there's a type of beetle in Cromwell, Chris, called the chafer beetle, and it's the only place in the world they live. Just saying.
Well, hopefully they stay there. This one does have a 360 in it and a 4-speed, so it would be interesting to drive. But you could do anything with the back part of this truck. Anything. Put seats back there, put a bed back there, a couch bed, anything you want. The sky's the limit. We could probably do all the work here because we have the paint shop, we have the upholstery shop, we can buy seats, make them match the front, whatever. But what is here is in pretty good, solid condition. And it's very rare to find a Dodge. Most of them are Fords. I just got an email from a guy that says he wants more information on the blue Carryall that I showed a few times that has the bed liner on the paint. Well, I have talked to the owner of that, and the engine was overheated and doesn't run. It needs a completely new engine in it. So I'm not sure how that's going to happen. And it's in Guadalajara, which is off limits right now. It's more than off limits. So when he's back to the 100s.
Yeah. Triple says check your email for the sugar pictures.
I don't need sugar pictures. I know what sugar looks like.
Chris says Barracuda, interesting, restricted to a nature preserve, right?
CD Burlock sent me an email with a picture of a Ford Carryall, and it was from Ford era. The guy in Florida that thinks he knows what he's talking about, but he doesn't, because he had a Mexican Carryall on his channel, and he did a video on it, and he's telling people that the truck was made in Mexico, but with parts from the U.S. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? That Ford US had no part in making Ford Carryalls. They were conversion companies that made them with all parts inside Mexico. I don't know what he's talking about or where he got that idea, and he didn't like me telling him he was wrong. So he's the manager, he's the administrator of the Facebook group that I was posting in those B100s in, and he doesn't want to post my posts anymore. So he can go F himself.
Chris says I saw the sugar pictures. They look pretty sweet.
They probably do, but they don't taste sweet if you lick them.
Maricola says yes, it's the one place that houses will get built on. Nature preserve.
I don't know. The saving this or saving that, just no, no. If it's meant to die out, it's meant to die out. Just the way it is.
That's the same guy, ironically.
Yeah, that's him. The guy that was in the picture you sent me or the video. Yep. He's bought carryalls from other countries, from Colombia or from Brazil or whatever it was. And he may know more about those, but he doesn't know anything about the Mexican trucks, which is, I mean, we're right here. Not that difficult to understand that Ford made the half cabin chassis. We even have an advertisement that shows it, the half cabin chassis that Ford made that was then sent to a conversion company, and then they built the rest of it. Because if you look at the front of a Ford Carryall here in Mexico, it has a much higher roof. The roof goes up and then back for the height, for them putting the seats in the back. So it's, if you look at it from the front, it's obvious it's a carryall without having to look at the side or anything, compared to the roof on a pickup truck or any kind of other Ford truck that they made. It's obvious. So he doesn't know what he's talking about, even though he thinks he does. And I'll put my knowledge of these trucks against anybody out there at this point. I've sold two of them. I've looked at many others, and I don't know the conversion companies other than IGT, and they made some of the best ones. They, in the back door, there's a little door that you flip up. It has a rubber pad on the rear bumper. You step on the rubber pad, you put your foot in the door, where they're flipped up, so you could get onto the roof or to remove the stuff from the roof panels. And those trucks also have, some of them have a toolbox on the left fender well under the hood that you put all your tools in, to work on the truck or work on whatever. That also came from, that was an option. So
Joshua says in some countries, U.S. companies sent all the parts and had them build cars over there.
not here. Ford US, it was a very different company from Ford Mexico, and the country required, the law was the cars had to be made inside Mexico with Mexican parts. They were not allowed to be used any parts. Nobody was buying parts from outside. Braden says we are the real ones.
We all are
We
real
all are
ones.
real ones.
Silverlock says, by the way, F-250s in 1996 had carbs on 429 big blocks, so when EFI started, I'm not sure.
Yeah, because they were exempt from most emissions testing, being the bigger trucks. What was I saying? Oh, and is in the 60s, Mexico required all funeral cars to be made inside Mexico, but there was nobody making funeral cars inside Mexico. So the funeral directors would buy a station wagon, they would send it to Los Angeles to a friend of mine, him and his partner, Ron Abbott and his partner, Alan Abbott and Ron Hast, and they would do a conversion on the station wagon and lengthen the tailgate and put sandblasted windows on it so you can't see in, and then cover the roof with a vinyl roof with the Landau bow on the side, and then they would send the car back, and that would be the funeral car for the country. So I'm looking for those here. If anybody has one in Mexico, I would like to know where it is. An Abbott and Hass conversion on, let's say, a 66 Coronet station wagon. It would be really interesting to see one of those.
Brandon says, oh my god, I am so got a full bird. It's not even funny today. It had to be about 1995 out. It was outside right at full with 15 SPF, tanning spray, and grab so burn today, but I'm growing some peppers.
Those rims are nice on that Suburban. Yeah, they're pretty new too. He was advertising it with new wheels and tires, but they're pretty wide. And that was a manual, so that was a good reason that I posted it. It just needs a big clean. It needs a huge detail, an in-depth detail.
Brandon says, you know me, I love you and my spicy challenges.
Yep. I
I
just
love
don't know how Faith can live with you though.
I love doing my spicy challenges.
I just don't know how Faith can live with you with all that spice.
Brandon says, so I got some things cooking for my YouTube channel. I got some peppers plants growing. I got some things, you guys. Grace says, 50 SPF sunscreen is a thing.
Yeah, I need higher than that.
Brandon says, we'll want to see some from September.
Okay.
Silverlock says, driveway, what's special about 1991 body style? Brandon says, oh, I know, I was trying to get tan, so that's where I was using like a tanning 15 SPF. Chris says, 1991 body style of what car? Silverlock says, the wagon, Ford wagon.
It was the last year for the Ford station wagon. 1992, the new body style came out, and they didn't have a station wagon in that body style. You had to buy a hearse to have a station wagon.
But it says die if you want to talk about a good sunscreen, 100% SPF.
Very expensive though.
Dan says should be growing some peppers here this summer, not hot ones. Triple says LTD maybe.
Yeah, that was the last station wagon that Ford ever made. No, that's not true. They did have Focus station wagons, but you can't really count those. Talking about in big cars, it would have been interesting to see the car they would have made if they made the 92 into a station wagon and what kind of taillights they would have put on it. But the guy here in Guadalajara turned a lot of them into hearses, the Crown Victorias and the Grand Marquis, stretched them and built all the body and everything, and then built the interior of the hearse. There was a wagon version of the Escort Tracer. Yes, yes, there was. But again, the big cars we're talking about. What was the biggest engine? The 460. Yeah, I think the 460 was the biggest engine for the time period that I know. The new ones, I don't know what size anything is, nor do I want to know. What size was the V10 engine though? I don't know. The V10 in the trucks. I don't know. The mosquito over here. Yes, it is. You get away from me. Ha! Gotcha. See what you get for messing with me? Tell your friends.
He can't.
Oh, maybe there's a way he can communicate. You guys aren't learning, are you? I have the magic paddle, the magic racket. Just can't see anything. It's light, doesn't it?
Dan says Gato Spec. No, he's fighting with mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes.
Gato Spec is asleep right now. G200 says they probably would have put F-150 taillights.
No, they never did that. They always designed taillights for the wagons that matched the design of the ones that were on the sedan. So I don't know what they would have made.
Cerebrolog says LTD is 7 liter, V10 is 7.3 liter. Only one size is Ford MS in Ford. Chris says stop stopping the cat.
If I was zapping the cat, you'd be hearing it.
Cerebrolog says sorry, 6.8 liter V10.
So the 460 is what? I don't know what liters are. It doesn't really matter. I don't know if you guys watch WD Detailing. They pulled a '64 Impala SS with a 409 under the hood out of a lean-to that was sitting there for 18 years, and they took it to their shop to detail it. And their guy's like, "Well, I know it's a 409, but what is that in liters? Like, who cares what it is in liters? The Beach Boys are not gonna sing 'She's Real Fine' my 6.7 liter. They're not gonna do that. Nobody cares about liters.
Okay. Bertola says I didn't knew there's a Ford V10.
Yeah, in trucks, in vans, in motorhomes, the commercial chassis, definitely. You didn't get any more power. You just used more gasoline. That's all.
Chris says 8.3 liters. Dan says Ford V10 was late 90s, 2000s, modular architecture.
460 is 7.5. 429 is 7. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Did you show up at the same time so I can't tell? Lester says 4V10, 415 cubic inch.
415 cubic inches on a V10. Wow. So the 460 was a bigger engine. The 8.3, which is an 8.2, was a 500 cubic inch, which was the biggest engine that a manufacturer made, 8.2 liter, right?
Mm. Ay, casi tumbas el vaso.
Mm-hmm. Got to get a mosquito quick. We need more light in this place. Everything is dark here.
There's so many mosquitoes. I only saw one.
I already killed two over here.
Like three.
As soon as I put the racket down, then one will come at me.
Mm-hmm.
The way it works. Here's the Grand Prix that I published. Got 60,000 miles on it. Got these wheels, nice tires, perfect interior, which you're not really going to see here because it was in a video. But supercharged engine under the hood. Beautiful car. I mean, look at that paint. It's as nice as can be. And it was it was without the supercharger, it was a great highway car. I was driving down from from Portland, Oregon, and I had bought at the Copart. I bought a 91 or 92 Chevy Corsica. I was driving down into California, and then I was going to head over to Reno. The alternator went out in the mountains as I was going over. So I ended up coming down out of the mountains, and I went to a Union 76 station, bought a battery there, put that battery connected to my other battery, and I was able to drive into Reno. So I left the car there in a parking lot because I knew a guy that had a shop there, and I rented a Grand Prix like this one, but it was red, no supercharger though. And I drove down from Reno to Las Vegas, from Las Vegas to California, Los Angeles, then back over to Las Vegas and back over to Reno when my car was done. And it was just a beautiful driving car. Of course, the car was new at the time, but these are excellent driving cars.
Cinebrooks says quiz. Why are some model Ford's engine called? Why are some Ford engines called modular? Answer in chat.
I don't know the answer to that.
Barbuda says, looks like I'm going to be the only New Zealander in this session. Chris says, because they are easy to disassemble when they're broken down on the side of the road? Question mark. Chris says, Barracuda, I know. Now you know how I feel during Kiwi Extreme. Chris says to Barracuda, but remember, it's quality, not quantity that matters most. Barracuda says, I'll always come for you, Chris.
We're back to the beginning. It's exactly 2 hours. Hmm. Hmm. That was the perfect amount of pictures. Because you didn't really start the pictures for a couple of minutes after we went live. So it was almost exactly 2 hours. Mm-hmm. So I should like 600 pictures.
This is smaller to build on same production line. Chris says, Barracuda, don't start being weird again, Barry. I'm still not marrying you.
You would think that because of how he was talking about the food that he eats, Chris, that would have been the reason you don't want to marry him. Yes, buddy, the Ram Charger got very sunburned, but I published it for a price including the complete new paint job, the driver's seat fixed, the new windshield, everything done. Everything done like a brand new truck. Unfortunately, it's a base model with no power windows or anything. So that's kind of a hard sell. If people want to spend money on something like this, they want the fully loaded model with everything. So just saw one flying over here. Believe in yourself. An armed man robs a bank with two CDs glued to his glasses. The cashier hands the man all the money and then says, "Gotta ask, what's with the CDs?" He replies, "It's my disc eyes. It's it's my disc eyes. Disguise. Why did she hand him anything if he can't see anything anyway?"
You don't know. Or says, but I thought
they're saying not to zap you, which means I have to zap you, right, Kat? That's how things work.
Orkula says, but I bought the engagement ring. You were going to see me next week. Chris says, yeah, he's talking about his spicy red sausages set off about 7 alarms.
I would think the food that he soaks in urine would set off the alarms before that, Chris.
City Warlock says two reasons. Parts from a B6 fits in B8, like pistons, but the 4.6 modular B8 has all metric dimensions, 100 milliliters bore spacing.
Okay. Now we know why. That's not something I'm going to deal with, though. No new engines for me.
Chris says, right, Kudatin would be flattered and slightly turned on if you gave him the ring instead.
Mrs. Ecstasy would have something to say about that, though.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of in the same place, so the socking in the head would be in person. Yeah, definitely. I think we're going to end it here, guys. I have to go start my spaghetti. And again, it takes about 40-45 minutes for my spaghetti to cook. So it's going to be quite a time before I am able to eat anything. Barracuda's been jilted. Aw.
What's jilted?
Like left at the altar.
Aw.
We're leaving, CD Burlock, so we will see hopefully somebody of you tomorrow.
Or later on
yeah, or later on Buff and Kim's live. So good night, everybody.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. Have a good night.